Great, thanks. Banana.
Hey everybody, how's it going today?
Welcome to Fiesta Gaming. I'm Fry. We've got Kane here. Some cool things to talk about that happened this week in the gaming universe that we are so in love with.
Let me get this pulled up here. So, first off, obviously we do have the Call of Duty championships going on right now, or at least the preliminary rounds.
Yeah, one of the qualifyings are going on right now, and
so
still going on right now.
Yeah,
I'm not saying go watch it, because, you know, we're cool.
We appreciate your loyalty and views. So, that being said, the COD, on topic while we're here on tournaments, Call of Duty multiplayer is running at a $3 million pool for the prize.
3 million, yep.
Yeah. And then recently we had the Halo, was those the qualifiers? I can never remember. I actually don't keep up with
Halo as much. I haven't done as much Halo keeping up.
Well, I haven't kept up with any of the tournaments. I'm not really competitive gaming that way.
Yeah,
but we do have.
I will double check on that actually.
With those Halo competitions, they do have a 2 million prize pool.
And $1 million of that has been crowdfunded.
Yeah.
Through the rec packs.
Which is rather impressive if they can just provide the competition prize pool just from in-game purchases.
I know, right?
Again, this, like...
Right?
The one thing that I love about this microtransaction platform is that it isn't pay to win. Obviously, if you buy more of them, you're going to have more assets. But if you're just playing casually, you'll still earn
the same amount, yeah.
The same stuff. Obviously not the same amount of that stuff, but you still have to be good in Warzone to use that stuff eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Because if somebody gets a Scorpion rec pack that they can, you know, now use Scorpions and they're getting more Scorpions frequently, in the end, they won't get that Scorpion if they're holding their team back. So, So ultimately, it really does even out, and it's fascinating that this microtransaction is enabling them to make more money for prize pools and further development if they choose to.
They're going to need it because they're giving everything out for free.
Exactly. So, I mean, all of their DLC is going to be available to everyone whenever it comes out. They're going to release all of their updates, like the most recent one gave us the armor and the additional wrecks that are coming in. Plus, we've got the cartographer's gifts coming in with the addition of Forge.
I cannot wait for Forge.
But,
cannot wait for Forge.
I mean, with everything they're offering with Halo, it's kind of hard to deny the model that they're going with and how good it's doing.
I know, they have...
Granted, myself, I haven't played Halo since, well, Fallout came out, but...
Traitor.
No, actually, I did play the other night. Just to get my rec packs. Just to get updated on my rec packs, as well as see if I could snag one of those, the competition rec pack.
Yeah, lucky bastard.
I did snag one of those. I didn't have to buy it. I had enough points. So.
Yeah, lucky bastard. I was actually going to just suck it up and spend the money for it today.
It was only $10.
And when I signed on, it was there. 10 minutes later, it was gone.
Oh, you missed it.
When I decided to do it, I know. I do apologize. I'm freaking hungry. That's why I'm off camera.
Yeah, he's going to be eating for a minute. So, now that we've got the tournaments out of the way, obviously they're still going on, so we don't really have much information on winnings, or winners, I should say. Let's get on to the big news that happened this past week. The Game Awards. If you missed them, well, I mean, obviously it's just a Game Awards show. Everybody's going to be talking about it. But Witcher 3 did win Game of the Year over Fallout 4.
Which everybody and their dog is upset about.
Honestly,
I never played Witcher or Fallout 4, so I can't really give my input on what should have won.
Right.
But everybody and their dog is upset about it.
All of the communities are upset that Fallout 4 didn't win Best Game of the Year. Let's look at it this way. Witcher 3 was a massive, really intense RPG. So you had to be skilled at combat. You had to know the structure of combat. You had to know what each individual monster was good against and what they were bad against. The world was expansive. The quality of graphics was just absolutely gorgeous.
I have seen a lot of gameplay on it.
The Witcher 3 gameplay not only is beautiful, is well constructed, but the universe and the world that it is set in, as well as all of the mechanics, overall, I can see why it won. I can easily see why it won, because it just has so much to it. Granted, this is coming from a person who has never played it.
And is also just
and
playing
I
Fallout
have
right
completely been absorbed by Fallout. It's undeniable that Witcher 3 was a phenomenal game. Now, I see why people who love Fallout have the outcry against Witcher 3, against that, because Fallout is a phenomenal game. Fallout 4 is a phenomenal game. But let's go over a couple things with Fallout 4 that, while it doesn't break the game or cause any problems, or really, hurt the game standing at all, it just made it so that it didn't win. There's a lot of bugs. Like, the game is buggy. That's come standard with Bethesda. That's kind of the heartwarming, oh, it's a Bethesda game sort of feel.
Let's see what we can mess up.
Yeah, let's see what we can mess up. Or let's see, wow, that person just sunk through the ground and is gone now. And 5 minutes later they show up again. That's Bethesda. We're just used to it at this point, and that's okay because their worlds are so huge and their maps are just big and massive and intricate, and they have all sorts of things strewn everywhere, and I can't seem to find aluminum anywhere anymore, which is unfortunate because I need to fix stuff. But Bethesda knows how to build a game and make it immersive, and even though it has those bugs, it's still a good game, but it still does have those bugs. Secondly, it feels more like a shooter than an RPG.
I like the sound of that because I'm.
Right,
If
obviously.
they have guns, I'm more
Obviously, you're
shooter oriented.
But the RPG element to it is very shallow. Like, obviously, you get the perks that you unlock every time you level up, and that's an RPG. Duh. That's what an RPG is classified as. But overall, the RPG aspect of it is relatively shallow in comparison to Witcher. Like, the RPG aspect in Witcher is just so
Huge.
in depth. Like, you get your first armor and it looks badass, but it's not great overall. Well, granted, you can upgrade, essentially like that, but it doesn't look great overall. But your very next set of armor that gives you better stats makes you look dumb.
As RPGs usually go.
As RPGs usually go, but as you go on, you get better and better armor, and etc.
That looks cooler, yeah.
But, like, The Witcher has that in-depth... hello?
The heck happened there?
I have no idea.
I'm guessing it's supposed to be a face.
I'm guessing.
And it just looks
just
weird.
Doesn't come across.
In our Twitch bot, it looks weird. On the chat, it looks
better.
Ish.
It's got swastikas in it. I don't know
Where
what that is.
do you see swastikas?
Right here.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know what that is. Royal. I don't know what that is.
Should I be concerned?
Oh, it's Hitler. Yeah, that's Hitler.
Ah, yeah.
There it is.
Now it looks.
Now I can see it.
Now I can see it. Yeah,
Why
I turned dark mode off. Okay.
I'm not sure why Hitler's in our chat, but
I guess, like, thanks for watching, Hitler.
I guess.
I don't support you, but
anyway, back to the point. Fallout. The character development is good. Like, it's not shallow by any means. Like, you understand motives, you understand who they are, but with, like, your companions and followers, they have a backstory, but you have to get to that backstory. And to do that, you either have to piss them off or earn their respect.
So it's got, like, BioWare elements to it.
Yeah, it doesn't
You have to earn...
You have to earn the respect
influence.
or admiration with the follower to actually unlock more of their story.
Okay.
So, for example, Piper.
Thank you, BioWare.
Yeah, for example, Piper, the news reporter in Diamond City. She's part of the main storyline, and I won't reveal anything as far as that goes, because some people haven't reached that. Totally fine. I get it. But Piper, she has a bit of a backstory about herself and her family that you wouldn't be able to access if you didn't have her as a companion and you didn't have her following you around while you were picking locks or making snarky comments. But like each individual character has something that they like that you do. So like Piper likes it when you pick locks and make sarcastic comments and be funny. Paladin Dance, he's another person that you come across relatively quickly. He really likes it when you get into a suit of power armor.
I would like it.
Like every single time, like in and out, if Paladin Dance is around me, if I get into my power armor, he likes it. If I get out immediately and get back in it, he likes it again. So that increases... Like, you could just basically sit there for an hour and hop in and out of the power armor, and it would just increase your standing with Paladin Dance.
Wonder how many PC players have that macro.
Tell us in the comments. But, yeah, so, I mean, Fallout 4 overall is a phenomenal game. I love it. And it was deserving to be in that category. But as far as RPG elements go, as far as world building goes, Fallout 4 had a lot to build on from Fallout 1 through 3. It has been an expansive universe.
Oh,
but
yeah.
The Witcher 3 just feels a bit more in depth because in Fallout they kind of glaze over some certain aspects. And not many people who have played 3 and 4 have played the first two. But the same thing goes with Witcher. Not a lot of people who played 1 and 2 or who have played 3 have played 1 and 2. Because 1 was, from what I've understand, is a bear to play. And 2 was better, but just still wasn't quite right.
Not to mention they're both on PC, and Fallout 3 really hit big when it came to console.
Right. And Fallout 3 still on PC was really good. I actually have that.
As do
but overall...
in a while, but...
Yeah, right. Overall... When it comes down to it, Witcher 3 definitely was deserving of that award. And anyone who says otherwise either didn't play Witcher 3 knows nothing about Witcher 3, or is a gigantic Fallout fanboy. And again, I'm not discounting the
more than likely that last one.
Yeah, I'm not discounting the gigantic Fallout fanboy theory, because I am a gigantic Fallout fanboy. I have loved Fallout ever since I first got my hands on it with Fallout 3. Again, I've never played 1 or 2. But The Witcher just draws people in, regardless of whether or not they played the first 2. And it's so in-depth and so uniquely built that it just deserves that award. And we're only on the first award.
Yeah. So I'll read off the list of awards that happened over the week. Best Family Game, Super Mario Maker, no surprise. Kind of a surprise because there's no co-op. Yeah. There's no Mario and Luigi, it's just Mario. But I guess, okay, you're going to make the level and I'm going to try to beat it. I can see that as a family game.
The sharing, it made sense.
Best Fighting Game, Mortal Kombat X. Having played and beaten it, I can agree to that because it's just...
And plus, it's got the Mortal Kombat flair to it. That's fatality.
Also,
fatality.
They have
fatality.
Jason Voorhees.
Yeah.
In the last one, they had Freddy Krueger, and they also have the Predator in this one.
Yep.
They're introducing.
They just announced
the guy from Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
Leatherface,
and the Alien,
and Xenomorph. Yeah. The trailer for that.
So I am so happy.
The trailer for that was wonderful.
I
missed the award show. I saw that trailer, and frankly, oh my gosh, that Xenomorph looks bad.
Like you'll be able to AVP in Mortal Kombat. My mom will actually. That is a game that my mom will play because she loves blood, guts, and gore, and she loves the Alien series. So she will just. Yes. I can see her just grabbing that, being the alien the entire time, dude. And she has her own Xbox One, so I can easily see her doing that now as well.
Man.
Best multiplayer game, Splatoon. Now, at Salt Lake Gaming Con, I was able to play it for the first time.
Right.
Darth Maul kept kicking my butt in it.
As in, like...
Our other Twitch co-host, Darth Maul,
right.
He kept kicking my butt in it. Traditionally, honestly, I'm more skilled than him.
Honestly,
it pissed me off a little bit.
Fun.
It is a fun game.
That's kind of like
you
why
paint
I think,
people away.
Exactly. That's kind of why I think it won in Best Multiplayer, was because it was just fun. It didn't have to have blood, guts, and gore. It didn't have to just be this massive.
It was a fun multiplayer game that won't have a competitive scenes, and that's what makes it fun.
It's just basic. And it's just fun.
People that like competitive games like it because they find competition fun, but that one was just fun. You pick it up, you play.
Yeah, you pick it up, you play. You splatter your friends with paint. Game over.
Yeah.
It's great.
Best mobile handheld game, Lara Croft Go.
It's essentially like a Temple Run.
Oh, okay.
It's essentially like that. It was well built. I did play it for a little while. I enjoyed it.
I haven't checked it out, but good to know. Esports Team of the Year, Optic Gaming. I'm not surprised considering Call of Duty being the big thing and Optic's, like the forefront of Call of Duty, like Nadeshot, part of Optic, owns part of Optic.
Yep.
He makes $1 million by himself a year in ad revenue and sponsorship.
Right.
Esports Player of the Year was...
You missed Esports Game of the Year. No, wait, we're moving on. Never mind, come here. Esports Player.
Kenny S. from Team Envious for Counter-Strike Go.
Which, from what I've seen of what they have posted of his stuff,
it's need to dedicate a week into buying Counter-Strike and playing the crap out of it so I can understand it when I watch it. Because that's the biggest part of why I don't watch a lot of the esports games. StarCraft, I'll watch it. I love it because I've played a bunch of it. Even though I played mostly campaign because I don't dare touch multiplayer with it because I suck.
Right.
Halo Wars I can do. That stuff is too complex. Halo Wars is really simple though.
Yep.
Esports Game of the Year as well was Counter-Strike Go.
CSGO. Because, it's so massive right now. The worldwide aspect of it, all those Russians, man.
A game that... I know he's not playing for Optic. He's currently got ownership of Optic for a while. He's taking part of the business side of the team. Shaquille O'Neal announced for TBS that they're going to be playing Counter-Strike Go tournaments and having their own season of Counter-Strike Go tournaments broadcasted on TBS.
Which is
I am super happy about that.
It's gonna be interesting.
Not like the biggest part isn't the fact that Shaquille O'Neal announced it. The biggest part is the fact that esports is going to be on television finally.
Yeah.
ESPN would sponsor Halo 2 and 3, and then they just died off.
Yep.
And now it's starting to be recognized, and I'm wondering if ESPN is kind of like, crap.
Did we mess up here? Anyways.
Most anticipated game is No Man's Sky.
Can we just talk about that game, that award for just one moment?
I don't think it's the most anticipated game.
It kind of is. Across the gaming community as a whole, No Man's Sky is one of those games that it's received like huge renown. Even like it was on the Tonight Show with Colbert. Like people were talking about how it's going to be so big and so expansive, and how it's not going to be anything like anyone else has seen. But the game, like the award itself, most anticipated game. No Man's Sky doesn't, like, it has a release date, but we still don't know a lot about it. Like, we don't know where you're going to start. We don't know how you're going to start. We don't know how you're going to be able to find your friends if you want to meet up with them. Because if it's truly an expansive, huge, randomly generated universe, there has to be, like, a portal system. There has to be, like... There's so much unknown about it that I have a hard time getting excited for it, because A, I'm an Xbox and PC fan, and it's going to be a timed exclusive for PlayStation. The overall game looks phenomenal. Like, the development of the game looks phenomenal. It does look exciting, but the award for most anticipated game...
I remember what it is now.
The reason I feel like this is the most anticipated game is because we know so little about it, but it's gotten so much hype since its first announcement that it is the only game that's super anticipated. Obviously, there's a lot of people who are really excited for... what's the Tom Clancy game coming out?
That came out?
The Division. Division, yes. There's a lot of excitement, especially from myself, for that Division game, just because it's...
That's been an anticipated game.
That's another one.
For like 2 years.
Yeah, exactly. And
3
the
years.
same with No Man's Sky, but at the same time...
It was like a tactical MMO
How do you award... How do you give an award to a game that isn't even out yet? Not to mention a game that we barely know anything about. Like...
You think, what was that one PlayStation game announced at E3 that everybody's been waiting forever with the gigantic dog and the little kid? Do you remember?
I will be honest here. The full disclosure, I have only watched one Sony press conference all the way through.
That was the one that we watched.
Yeah, that was the one that we watched. Yeah. That we had to switch from a PlayStation 4.
Where they had their own.
They had their own streaming app built in on the PlayStation. Was it the 4
PS3?
Or the 3? Yeah, it was the 3.
It was the one that announced the Xbox One. No, the one before the announcement of the Xbox One. So that was 2012.
Yeah. So. Yes.
Yeah, that was the 2012 E3.
But like, we were watching their stream on the PlayStation 3 and it wouldn't work. And then we moved over to a Windows PC and it worked perfectly.
This laptop, actually.
Yeah, that one right there.
This laptop.
But like, that's kind of the stop it. That's kind of the impression I've gotten from PlayStation, is that I just dislike their press conferences, just because they feel so stuffy and they feel so, oh, look at us, look at all of this cool. Well, obviously that's what a press conference is, but like,
their attitude about it.
Like their attitude about it, like their whole, after Xbox announced that you wouldn't be able to trade discs with that, they were like, oh, look at this, you can just give your disc over. Like that snarky attitude about everything that they do, and then them swearing at all of the Xbox users, that whole fuck them and all of that crap.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, that was after the PlayStation 4 announcement, or during that, or it was them like, yeah, fuck everyone else was the statement, but it was obviously directed at Microsoft.
Yeah, because I mean,
like Microsoft announced all these games and thanked at the start of their conference thank everyone else, Nintendo and Sony and all of the developers, for providing them an environment where they could learn and grow and move forward. And then Sony's press conference was, fuck them, we're the best, blah, 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 blah. Like, how does that play into good business? Yeah, there's just no respect there, and that's why I can't get behind a Sony platform. I love the games. Like, I'm super excited for No Man's Sky, and I really want to see that do well. I'm excited for Uncharted 4. That looks really beautiful, looks really good. It essentially feels like a Tomb Raider game. Yes, I know that Tomb Raider, the new Tomb Raider, is a Nathan Drake copycat, but in reality, Tomb Raider's the original. When all
the original puzzle-solving adventure game.
The original puzzle-solving adventure game was Legend of Zelda. But that aside, my point is that, like, anticipated games.
Yeah.
Bringing it back to the anticipated games, how do you judge what is the most anticipated game from a giant community?
Yeah, it's...
And how do you give an award for that when the game isn't even out? Like, that's... I just don't really think that award has much validity behind it.
Yeah, it's
that's a dust collector right there. That'll sit on a shelf and say, yeah, we were the most anticipated, but if we can't deliver, then that anticipation will be for nothing. Like,
yeah.
Even if it were awarded to anything else, it's still one of those awards that...
Even if it's the biggest game ever, it was the most anticipated. So it had the coolest looking trailers.
Everyone was so excited. Yeah, everyone was so excited for it.
And it had the coolest looking trailers. Cool. Like, there's a game coming out.
Everyone was so excited for Halo 2 when it first came out.
I have been so terrible with remembering the names of games, but they announced a game where you have your own pet dragon and you can fight other characters that have their own pet dragons, and you can fight other dragons. See, right? For the life of me, can't remember the name of the game.
I know of Scalebound, which is the new one that's coming to Microsoft, that will be you and your dragon fighting
that's
people,
it. Scalebound.
But then you can team up with other dragons.
Is that it?
Scalebound is the one where you can team up with other people and fight with them against enemy dragons.
Is that it? Is that the one that I'm thinking of?
I'm super excited for Scalebound.
I'm pretty sure
that
that's the one
game's
I'm
going to
thinking
be legit.
Yeah, that's okay. So that's the one I'm thinking about. See, I can't even remember the name.
Yeah, if you haven't heard anything about Scalebound, go and look that.
That is my most anticipated game.
My God, I'm so excited. Dragons, you and me with the giant. Like, did you see the armor that guy does when he uses that special ability? It's just like dragon scales and fire and legitness. Anyway, so yeah, that's my most anticipated game. So I don't even think that made it on the list.
We can always look that up.
But again, like, anticipation, like, how do you judge that?
You can't.
Exactly.
It's all personal preference.
So, anyway, moving forward.
Best narrative game was Her Story. For those of you who don't know what that is, it came out relatively recently. They had an actress, and she's on trial.
I think.
We're gonna double check.
Sounds about right.
We're gonna double check for you. Reading the official Steam game description. Creator of Silent Hill, Shattered Memories, and Isle did this. A woman was interviewed 7 times by the police. Search the video database and explore hundreds of authentic clips to discover her story in this groundbreaking narrative game. So, very unique style of gaming.
I mean, the game is a narrative game, and included in the title is story. So it had better be narrative enough.
It better be. And like,
so
it's a game where they're recording an actual, actress. And she was the one who accepted the award too.
Right, yeah. Which is legit. I love that.
So it's like, this game hasn't really been done before. Yeah. What do you expect from it? And the fact that it won an award.
And it's a narrative game. I do love that. I love narrative games that just tell a story. You don't necessarily have to play anything, but it just draws out a story. It's like a book in game form. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big...
Because it means I don't have to read. So, trending game... blah, 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 blah. Trending gamer. Greg Miller from Kinda Funny Games, and... I don't remember the details of his acceptance speech, but he gave a good acceptance speech about the community as a whole and how thankful he is for developers.
Right.
There was stuff like that, so it wasn't like...
He was very gracious.
He was incredibly gracious individual.
See, and I'm surprised Markiplier didn't win. I'm just surprised. Like, I'm not disappointed.
He's got the popularity with IGN going over to Greg has the
he's not as
IGN to
much
Kind of Funny
indie
Games.
anymore. So
And he's just like, if you watch Kind of Funny Games, you're just like, this guy's got some pretty funny comments to say, pretty good things to say.
So not a terrible big surprise there, but best indie game we've got is Rocket League, which frankly, from the giant, massive push,
it is so much fun.
Yeah, exactly. It's just simple.
It is so much fun.
It can be competitive, but it doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
It's just
Gaming Con.
Yeah.
It was me, Keisha, and Darth Maul. We just picked up some controllers at the PlayStation booth and started playing.
Yeah. And I mean, Rocket League, from what I have seen, again, it's a game I haven't played, but from what I've seen, it just looks so legitimately fun that that is deserving.
Mm-hmm. It is possible to get good at it with practice, but you don't need to be good at it to have fun.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh my gosh, I missed it.
Yeah. And tying in, Best Sports and Racing Game Award went to Rocket League.
And another thing with Rocket League, it is now coming to the Xbox One. So we can finally play it.
Also, there's
on the Xbox One.
Yeah, there's going to be a Halo cars that you can unlock, as well as Gears of War cars.
Mm-hmm.
For now, they're probably going to add more later, but those are coming with that edition.
Which is going to be awesome.
Yeah, I'm super.
I'd love to have a Warthog.
I'm really excited.
With a Warthog.
I'm really excited to actually play it on my console because I haven't downloaded it for PC, mostly because I don't think my computer can run it right now. But that being said, moving on, we've got Developer of the Year, CD Projekt Red.
You skipped ahead 2 ones.
Oh, again, you throw these. Oh, Games for Impact, which was games that. Oh, I'm trying to remember what these were. Games for Impact was something that was with hard-hitting subject matter, or change the industry in a way or shape or form. And that was the Life is Strange, the episodic game, right? And I guess, that made sense. Like, it was one of those games that was relatively simple, but still came across rather well. From what I've seen of Life is Strange, it definitely, Life is Strange was one of those games that I can see why it won.
I've never played it, so I have no idea what to say about it.
Right, yeah. Everything I've seen of it and the little bit that I have played of it, I can definitely see why it won. For sure.
I have been severely lacking in my new games. I used to be all about, get the newest game that looks exciting and play it.
Right.
Some games I just didn't cater to, but lately it's just, I don't know. I have a hard time zoning in sometimes.
Right.
So
forgive me while I stretch.
I've been more so focused on multiplayer games, playing with friends.
Mm-hmm.
If not, I usually just go off and do my own. Assassin's Creed Syndicate, I sat down and grinded that out.
Right.
That's a beautiful game. If you haven't played it. But yeah, getting that initial interest for games is hard for me lately.
Yeah. So we do have Best Fan Creation, Portal Stories, : Mel. If any games include a colon, I'm going to just start including a because the more and more games have colons, the more and more I just dislike it. Developer of the Year, which obviously goes hand in hand with Game of the Year, is CD Projekt Red, which developed The Witcher 3. Best Art Direction, Ori and the Blind Forest, which, again, that game was just beautifully created.
I've not played it.
Well deserved.
All I've done is seen the trailer, and it made Keisha cry. So you know.
And I downloaded it because we got it for free for Xbox.
Did we?
Yeah. I feel like we did.
Do I have it?
I don't know. It's either I got it for free or I downloaded it because it looked really cool, but I've got it, and it is a beautiful game. Best Action Adventure Game, Metal Gear Solid 5. And while I break into my Asian accent, sorry. The Phantom Pain. Now, this is where the Game Awards took a weird turn. Because I had Kiefer Sutherland, who was the voice of Snake, accepting the award. and that was him just mostly pretending to be interested in games.
Mm-hmm.
Konami, the developer of the game, banned, and this is legitimately true, they legitimately banned Hideo Kojima from being at the award show. Even though he did most of, if not all of, the development of that game. Like, obviously there was a big team working on it, but Hideo Kojima did the development and piecing together of that. And Jeff Keighley, I'm going to call these awards the Keighlys, because we have Grammys, we have the Oscars, and Jeff Keighley has done his best to pull these award ceremonies together. So I'm going to call these the Keighlys. At the Keighlys, Jeff Keighley actually had just a small little spiel about how we miss and love Hideo Kojima and all of his positive influence on the community as a whole, and his contribution to the gaming industry. And he basically said, "We love you, and we wish you were here." And I really liked that, because that was kind of a stab at Konami saying, "Get your act together, stop being such assholes, and just let the man take credit for his game." Like, it's one of those things that Konami just needs to get it over with and say, "You're right, we were wrong, he was right, and we're sorry. Can we move on now?" Like, there's never been an official, "We've fired Hideo Kojima."
Yeah, apparently he's still under an employment contract with Konami.
He's still working for Konami, but Konami is basically like kept him in a little black box.
Yeah, there
have been no public appearances. There have been no, like, he hasn't, ever since they had like the big falling out, he hasn't had any public appearances. He hasn't really done anything. He said stuff over Twitter, but Mr. Kojima just hasn't been around since Konami took his name off the box. So it's just one big conspiracy theory at this point about what's really going on, and I just want them to fess up and say, "Yeah, we fucked up, we're sorry, and you have fun doing whatever you're doing." I really want him to make a different game. Like, I want Hideo to actually work on a different game rather than staying in the Metal Gear universe, just because I want to see what else he can do. But that will happen at the end.
Throw him in Halo.
No.
Story-wise?
Story-wise, sure, but he needs to be branching out on his own new project, in my opinion. Just because Metal Gear has been so successful for so long. I want to see...
have him go to Rhode Island and start up Kingdoms of Amalur again.
I wouldn't do that.
No.
Anyway, let's move on.
So
we have best performance for Her Story. That was Vivian Seifert.
Yep.
The actress who played all of those videos.
Game of the Year, we already said, was Witcher 3 Wild Hunt.
Best role-playing game.
It also won Best RPG, and Best Shooter was Splatoon. Again. Splatoon got 2 awards.
Yep.
Which...
Again, not surprising.
Best multiplayer, okay, I can get that.
Right.
Best Shooter, though...
With
all the big shooters that have come out.
I'm a huge Halo fan. I will say this. I'm a huge Halo fan, and I understand why Halo and
you're a
Call
huge
of Duty,
Destiny fan.
And I'm a huge Destiny fan. But frankly... Alright, listeners. We're gonna have a little bit of a heart-to-heart. I play shooters to shoot people. I don't necessarily play shooters to have fun. I am a person who I get my frustration out on shooter games. So when a shooter game can be both fun and not be serious, because I play I play as a competitive person, but I don't play competitively. If that makes any sense. I like to win. When I see Splatoon, and when I see people playing Splatoon, even when they're playing competitively, or even when they're being competitive with how they're playing, it still looks like everyone is having fun. And ultimately, that's kind of the point of video games, is fun.
Fun, yeah.
But when I see Halo players or Call of Duty players playing a multiplayer game and playing a shooter, I see
a lot of frustration.
I see a lot of frustration. I see a lot of yelling, and not just the "Oh, what was that?" No, it's like the pissed off. I'm going to kill you and your family and all of that bullshit. That was such bullshit.
That stems from a lack of an understanding of how the games work.
Yes, but at the same time, like what I'm trying to say is, it makes sense for Splatoon to have won in this aspect because it was fun, it was well built, the controls made sense, and it just added something new to the multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
Because Halo still feels like Halo, Call of Duty feels like Titanfall. All I'm saying is
Call
that
of Duty is Titanfall.
like everything, like Black Ops 3, it really is Titanfall without the Titans on small maps.
They took all the good things from Titanfall and expanded it and made their own game, and now Titanfall's sitting here like, well, shit.
Well, we've already done that. But like my point is, Splatoon is one of those fun games. You play it to have fun. You don't play it to get your shiggles off and pwn noobs. You play Splatoon.
Although you could.
You could, but ultimately you play Splatoon to just have fun. And that's why it makes sense for it to win Best Shooter and Best Multiplayer Game of the Year, because it's just one of those games that's fun and you don't have to worry about it.
No.
Also on the topic of
shooters.
Well, in the topic of shooters, we did mention earlier that the cartographer is coming back. We're getting
Halo 4 Forge mode is going to be a thing this month. When that update rolls around, I'm going to get my map making on like crazy. The Forge Hub forums are going to start blowing up as well.
Yes, I'm excited for the racetracks.
Oh my gosh, I miss Rocket Race.
Mongoose, imagine Mongoose.
Gungoose racing.
Gungoose races? Yeah, right.
It's like the ultimate Mario Kart. You got shooting in front, and you got a guy to cover your back.
Right. It's gonna be great. I'm excited.
It's gonna plus just seeing what people come up with.
Yeah, it's always fun.
Yeah. Plus
like everything that if you remember, did you ever watch any of the horse or hunt maps that they did on Halo Reach and Halo 4 with Achievement Hunter? None of them?
Not with Achievement Hunter.
Because most of the time it would be people from their community or people from the Forge community just submitting maps for them to do like a horse game type. So they have like 4 different maps where they play a different kind of game. And like some of the stuff that we made was just so fun. Like you'd have to launch a grenade through a series of those like bouncy platforms, like the gravity platforms, and get it into a bucket. And then once the bucket explodes, you moved on to the next step. And like you have to throw it at the right place at the right time to actually get it to work, and then all this other stuff. Like Forge has been always one of my favorite parts of Halo. So I'm excited to see what they bring, especially with the way that they altered Halo 4's crafting system. I'm excited to see what they do with 5.
Oh my gosh. Not to mention, are you going to be able to forge your own Warzone maps?
Oh, sweet lord. Warzone, Forge.
That would be awesome.
That would be awesome, but that would be so much work.
Well, I can do it.
Right.
Somebody will, but I'm not
so
going
much.
to do it.
Be so much work.
Well, depending on how the objects are and how easy it is and how streamlined it is, it could just be like, I did 5 things and I made a gigantic base that works well.
Right.
So who knows?
I don't know. While we're on the topic of a formerly Bungie
One thing.
IP,
Oh my gosh.
just the other day, this weekend has been PSX, PlayStation Experience, and there have been a lot of games announced. We're not going to be able to cover all of them. But one thing that has been announced from one of the largest shooters of the year has been the new Sparrow Racing League that they'll be having in Destiny. You've probably seen more than me.
Actually, no.
No?
I'm not even the Destiny player in this group.
That's right, I am. I am the Destiny player.
And you've been on Fallout.
And I've been stuck on Fallout.
For shame.
I know. I'm sorry. My hunter is sitting there with dust on his shoulders. He hasn't moved for over 2-3 months.
Like 4 for me? Nah, 3 for me?
Did you pick up Taken King at all?
Yeah.
So it's been
we
3
played
months.
through it and we beat it, and then we haven't touched it since.
Right. But I mean, they are doing the Sparrow Racing League, which will harken back to some of that gun goosing and whatnot that they had in Halo. But yeah, it's just gonna be
6-player free-for-all death race through enemy territory.
death race. Does that mean we're gonna get
The races
guns?
run for 3 weeks. They conclude on December 29th.
Oh shit, that's actually going on right now. Would you look at that? I actually might have to pop into Destiny tonight before I go to bed. Legit. Like, wow.
Racing through checkpoints.
You get guns on them. That's all I want to know. Nope, you just
You have to zoom
die.
through the
Whoa.
taken and obstacles.
Legit. And it looks like there's... Yep, there's guns. Yep, there's guns. Praise be, there's guns.
Mars and Venus.
Earn new rewards.
Sparrows.
Sparrow's gear. Become racing legend. Because it's Destiny. Wow. Alright, I guess I am... Ooh. Wow. Yep, I am... I'm going to be hopping on Destiny tonight. Oh, December 8th. December 8th. What day is it? It's
The
the
6th.
6th. So 2 days from now, December 8th. Go check that out. Because frankly,
You're hopping on the 8th.
that's going to take up some of my time.
I'm sure it will.
It, like, definitely some of my time. So, you know, we can actually skip that one. Let's go into something that Nintendo has just told us as of today. There will be a Nintendo announcement tomorrow. Most likely dealing with their NX platform. Obviously, it's a code name, but there is a potential announcement, and there's been a lot of speculation.
I think it's going to be the announcement for. I do think it's going to be the announcement for that.
For NX.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it would make sense, just because the Wii U has been a relative failure in comparison to the Wii. Like there hasn't been much promotion for the Wii U for a while. Like obviously Amiibos are going to still be a thing just because they're on their handheld. The 3DSs, they're on.
Yeah, they're not going to just drop their.
They're not going to drop their
money
collection
pit.
platform because a lot of people are buying Amiibos, and I mean that has been one of their most profitable aspects in the past 5 years. Has been Amiibos.
Same with Lego. Same with Skylanders.
The Amiibos
Same with Disney.
The Amiibos are making more, from the figures that I've seen. The Amiibos are making significantly more than everything else, just because they are Nintendo characters and they keep adding more and more as they go, and they are.
Well, plus they don't have to
incredible.
like say this series. It's just this edition of this guy. This
Yeah,
edition
this
of this guy. It's
person's
not
coming
1.02, 1.03,
Yeah,
or
you're not going to lose functionality.
insert name here, insert name here, insert name here that you have to use with that specific game disc. And blah blah blah. Blah,
That's
blah.
the big reason why Amiibos. have been
Amiibos
so
has that. Lego Dimensions also will have the same disc.
Mm.
You just build a new portal, which
Yeah.
is cool. So Lego Dimensions has it right. Disney Infinity though, I'm
Disney
like,
Infinity is a failure. Skylanders hasn't been a failure. It has been incredibly successful. Nintendo missed their shot to get on the Skylanders, and that's why they made Amiibos. But again, that Skylanders
and
doesn't
of all
have
things,
the backwards
Spyro
compatibility.
to bring back,
Right? I want. You know what I want? I want a legit Spyro game.
like the first one.
Yeah, I want a legit Spyro game in current gen.
No, we might have to stream that. I think I still have the first one for the PS1.
We may have to
all
do
the
that.
hookups. We might have to do that
We
one
might
of
have
these
to
days.
do that. But like an original Spyro game that isn't Skylanders, that's just nostalgia. Like a remastered, remade original Spyro game.
I'm okay with remasters as long as they are from very, very long ago.
Right, yeah.
Like Spyro, a PS1 game from the 90s.
Yeah. Yes.
I want a Hey You Pikachu remake.
I mean, use the Kinect. That'd be priceless. You could use the mic on the Wii gaming pad, because there is a mic on that.
Awesome.
There you go. Something to
Nintendo.
think about, Nintendo.
Nintendo, I'm on it.
But there's
Space.
also been some speculation with the NX that Nintendo expects
Oh yeah, that's
It
a ridiculous amount.
to sell 20 million units of the NX once it comes out. Now, before we get too much in the skepticism realm, well, actually, to feed into the skepticism realm,
Yeah.
the Wii the most successful gaming console in history. Well, that's not true. In one season of sales.
There you go.
Total console sales went to 6 million. I feel like that's accurate. A 6 million, a 6 million box sale. Like, the Wii itself was massive, and Nintendo was not prepared for that by any means. If you remember that Wii 2004, 2005 season where they released the Wii sale, they released the Wii, you could not find a Wii for months.
Yeah, there was a shortage of Wiis.
Yeah, like you could not find Wiis for a good year. In my situation, we didn't get one until like a year and a half afterwards. But yeah, it just.
As of September 30th, there are 101.59 million units shipped of the Nintendo Wii.
Right, so that's shipped. Granted, that is not purchased.
That is also 9 years in the making.
Yeah, that is 9 years in the making. But 6 million of that was in the first year.
And they're wanting 20 million.
And they're thinking that they can ship and sell 20 million in the first year. Now we did get there has been a patent filed for one of Nintendo's designers.
And see, since 2012, the Wii U
has only sold 9 million total.
Signed 9.2 million.
Yeah. So, that being said, from a patent found that was filed in 2013, 2014, there has been a gaming unit patent filed for the gaming unit as well as a cloud structure and a interconnected device where you can plug the device into the main console, and it has the processor of the console in the console, and then there's a second processor that you can sync up with the device you plug into it.
In the gamepad.
In the gamepad, essentially. That's what we're going to call it for now. It's the
handheld
the peripheral.
device.
The peripheral. So the peripheral has a processor, the gaming console has a processor, and those will work in sync when you have the peripheral plugged in. Now, you can take the peripheral away, you'll lose some of your processing power, but you can play the same games that you play on your console wherever you go. Then, to top on top of that, when you're on the go, or when you are playing at home, you'll be able to use cloud processing to pull power from other consoles
that are also attached to the cloud
to improve performance and graphics. So ultimately, you would be able to pull however many consoles you needed to run a specific game and run it at the highest quality possible. Also, if you're connected to the internet and have just a handheld, you'd be able to do the same that way as well. And if you do say that your console can be synced up to the cloud to allow other people to use, you have the option to earn currency.
Some sort of reward. So either game bucks or what we're assuming.
Where this is all in the patent, that when you have it synced up to the cloud and allow other people to use it, they will give you something in return. So whether that's game bucks, whether that's redemption for a subscription model, whether that's just like additional time or additional cloud storage space.
I want to be able to redeem it for an Amazon gift card.
Right, that would be nice.
That would, in an ideal world, I could redeem it for an Amazon gift card.
But also, like this thing keeps building upon itself. Also, if you get multiple peripherals, you can daisy chain those to your own to improve the performance of the console itself. So you've got another the Sega Tower of Power. You remember that? The Sega Genesis with all of the peripherals stacked on top of it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Essentially, it's that Tower of Power again. Another option that they may also incorporate, if this is the proper model that they're going for, is that you would just have to buy a module to use backward compatibility. So I could buy one of those peripherals to plug into my console.
Which would be cool, because it's something, if you're not going to use, you're not going to pay for it. Exactly. If you want to use it, then you pay for it.
Exactly. I can buy a peripheral to give me all of my GameCube games that I own. I can just pop it in the peripheral and play it that way, and it'll play through my console.
Which will be awesome.
Which would be phenomenal. And with the software and everything, they've already got all of that.
And I'm wondering if they're going to combine their online stores. So you can have, like, Super Smash Bros. Brawl with Pokemon Red.
Right.
And you can play that on the big screen like Pokemon Stadium used to have.
Yeah.
And then you can play the Splatoon on mobile.
Which would be interesting. But again, this is all speculation just because we found the patent doesn't mean it's definitely
we
what they're
should
gonna
find
do.
out more tomorrow. Should.
Yep.
Maybe.
Nintendo
possibly.
is making
Get on Twitter. Like us on our Twitter and Facebook because we will be sharing the crap out of that tomorrow.
Yep. All of the information on Nintendo's
because I don't.
upcoming, all because Nintendo has an upcoming announcement tomorrow. So supposedly.
So we'll find out tomorrow-ish.
Yes. Also, another thing that that has been announced has been the PlayStation 4 backwards compatibility.
Wonder why they're doing that.
It's hard to say. Xbox did their whole backwards compatibility where you just download the games you already own and you play
that
them
are
on
available.
Xbox One that are available at this point in time. And if you've got the disc, you just plug the disc in. It'll show you have that, then you can download it. But PlayStation does the backwards compatibility for PS3 already.
PS2.
Well, PS3 already, because you can download those again. But they have to be on the console itself. That was already happening. And then they announced the PlayStation 2 backwards compatibility over the past couple of weeks.
With 4 games.
With 4 of the games.
That come with the Star Wars bundle. And that's why they did this, because of the Star Wars games.
And with those PlayStation 2 backwards compatibility games, though, you have to purchase them again. Granted, the most expensive purchase is $15.
Which is understandable because the disc drive wasn't built to read it, and you couldn't purchase it in an online store.
Right, but I feel like the
Plus,
disc
where
drive...
are you going to find it?
People still have their PlayStation 2 games.
Yes, but stores don't, and that's the issue.
Great, well, but that's about it.
The
point is,
that's
all of the people who have their PlayStation 2s still and have their PlayStation 2 games that want to be able to play it on their PlayStation 4s can't play their games. They have to buy it again. And that's the big thing that I find offensive. Again, I'm not a Sony fan. I don't own any Sony products. I would love to own a PlayStation 4 just because of all of their exclusives. But
yeah, that's about it.
Sony is spitting in the face of all of their long time fans. Mm-hmm. Because they're like, there's no way for us to you to just be able to put your disc into our console, because if you put it into our console, you probably won't get it back, and then you have to buy a new PlayStation 4. Because we didn't think about backwards compatibility when we made this. Ever. So...
At least Xbox has a way to do it. You know?
So what we're going to make you do is, sure, we're going to keep the prices low, but you are going to have to buy your PlayStation 2 games again. Sorry, but that's the price you pay for us not thinking ahead.
Not to mention,
I should say.
Not to mention, how long have Xbox Ones been $349, and then up until a month ago, PlayStation finally dropped their price?
I honestly do not
and
know.
And the only console with a 1 terabyte hard drive is a limited edition. People want the 1 terabyte. People won't have to go through the process of converting their console to 1 terabyte.
Exactly. You have to download all of the information. And people are scared of putting that new hard drive in because it's so technical in comparison.
Where's my I don't have physical example. Okay.
What?
This is my prop.
Yeah.
This is something else that I need. This is my flash drive.
Yeah.
You need a flash drive.
Yeah.
Plus the new hard drive. The Xbox One. You have the option to get an external.
Right.
You can buy the 500. You can buy the 1 terabyte.
Yeah.
But you have that option for the external. Plus, you can do any external storage. Like 99.9% of external storage devices work for the Xbox One.
Just so long as they've got three USB.
3.0 USB 3.0s. Yeah, I could buy a 1 terabyte external. I could buy a 64 gig. I could buy a 17 terabyte external. Whatever I want, and it'll work.
my biggest thing about Sony is that they're so stubborn and they refuse to change. They just are like, well, we've got this. Have fun with it. Because we're not going to change it.
Like their camera. I didn't know they had a camera.
I did.
I don't know what good it does.
I knew it was crap.
Yeah.
It's not great. It's definitely no Connect.
It's a webcam.
Yeah, that's it. It's not even as this good a quality that you're looking at right now.
And
that's saying something.
Yeah, like, I mean, I don't look that great in this camera.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't look that great, period. But I don't look that great in this camera.
I wish I looked great anytime. But like, what? That's my biggest thing with Sony is that they just give, and they don't ever follow up.
Yeah.
I will say that they did just announce that they were doing $100 year subscription to their PlayStation subscription model, where you can play games. It's essentially like a gaming streaming service.
Uh-huh.
And previously they had 1 month for like $15, 3 months for like $40 or something, where you could just sign up for that. And then they just announced the year for $100. But that's a streaming service on top of PSN.
Xbox has had some dumb stuff in the past, but their current CEO explained, "Hey, we want to make the fans happy. We'll do whatever it takes." And PlayStation's just not caring.
No.
There are the Sony fanboys who are going to be like, "Oh, PlayStation's got this, and it's awesome." Okay, cool. You know about it.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about it.
That's one of those. Yeah, that is cool. I will say that. But what spurred them on to do that?
Purposes?
Like, what made them make that decision? Was that just them saying, "Here is something we did for you," and then you saying, "Well, I'll use that, I guess"? Or did they actually like take your feedback and say, "This is what people want. This is what you guys are asking for. So this is what we're going to deliver on. If you don't like us, let us know so we can fix it." Xbox has done that.
The only thing that I can think of that PlayStation has on the Xbox is the prioritization of downloads.
Right.
If I want to just jump into the campaign on a game, then it just downloads the campaign first. As soon as it's ready, I can go play it. Then it downloads the multiplayer.
Right.
But at the same time, I'm already prepared for a gigantic download.
Yeah.
Or if it's a game like Assassin's Creed, it's a campaign. It's going to download anyways. Yeah. So it only really applies to a select few games. Mm-hmm. And then I don't care.
Yeah. And the big thing for me is that ever since the Xbox One was announced, people have said, "We don't like this, we don't like this, we don't like this." And Xbox went legitimately, okay, we'll fix that. Every step of the way. The massive community outcry about the DRM, they were like, "All right, we understand you don't want this. We'll get rid of it." Even though it would have been amazing. Like, all of the cool stuff that they included in that, we don't get anymore. But, I mean, you kept things as they were, and they still worked, so whatever. I mean, but they listened to you and made changes based upon what the community wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Sony has yet to do that, really. And I don't understand why Microsoft gets so much flack and why they haven't done well.
Because they're doing something. The fact that they're doing something provokes criticism. PlayStation's not doing anything, so there's no criticism. But you're going to hear more negativity than you are going to be hearing positivity, because people don't want to brag about anything other than themselves, and people don't want to complain about anything they want to complain about stuff other than themselves. Yeah. So they're going to complain about other stuff, and they're going to talk good about themselves.
I will be the first. I am a huge Microsoft fanboy. Tried and true. Praise Bill Gates. But, like, all glory be to Bill Gates. Like, I really love Microsoft because they've been that company that's been like, yeah, we messed that up. Let's fix it.
Yeah.
I really hope they do that with the whole Microsoft 365 eventually, because I missed
Office 365.
Yeah, that one. But like overall, Microsoft has always been responsive to what people want. When they wanted a new home screen for the 360. They were like, yeah, we can do that.
I miss the blades.
The original one?
I miss the blades. It was... There are pros and cons to the new Windows 8 style dashboard for the Xbox 360.
Right.
But
original.
everything was in front of me in order, categorized, colored.
No. What I'm referring to
blades.
is the original Xbox 360. Do you remember that? The
Yeah.
original Xbox Live.
For the 360?
Yeah.
Yeah, those bladed panels.
No, you had the three, like you had the list of each one on the left side, and you had the Microsoft thing in the center. I could be thinking of the...
That's the original Xbox.
Yeah, but like...
That's the original Xbox.
Yeah,
I do miss that too.
I opened up an original 360, like one of the older 360s, to reformat, and it was already at that, like it hadn't been started up in years. Like it was on the original Xbox Live software. And I was like, holy shit. Like, I couldn't believe it.
Are you talking about that?
No. I'm talking about the original Xbox 360 dashboard.
That one.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, that's what I'm referring to.
Yeah, that one right there.
This is the blade. They call it the blade dashboard because you have this blade.
Can we get this on screen? Because I really feel like people need some nostalgia in their lives right now. Because frankly, old school is what it is.
Yeah, I too miss.
Yeah, that right there.
Miss this dashboard quite a bit.
Let's get this up. Because frankly, I don't even know how we did it. Like,
I don't either. Like,
it's one of those things that you go, was this really how it was? Like, was this genuinely how we played games? Because if it is, what? Like, how did we even... What? I still can't get over it. Like, it is just so old school.
oh, don't open with that.
There you go. But, yeah. So, I mean, ever since the beginning, Microsoft has listened. And PlayStation always been set in their ways. And that's kind of why I'm not surprised by the backwards compatibility you have to pay for all of the games. I'm not surprised. People are. I'm not. Some other cool announcements that they did have at the awards show. Telltale, in wonderful fashion, as they have been doing lately, has picked up another massive franchise. Telltale is doing a Batman game. So look for that episodic Batman.
So yeah, we're
Telltale game
looking at this dashboard right here. That.
Oh, the original Xbox 360.
And like the play the game, and even has a little button,
it's got
like
the
it looks
button
like
just
it's
like
your
on-
jag, and
Yep.
just. But like this was good because it was just you had who it was in, who are you looking at?
Yep.
You saw your messages, saw your friends online, and an instant link to the marketplace.
Yep.
Like if you don't want to go to the store, you don't have to go to the store.
Nostalgia. Oh, so good.
And just
so good.
like the media. It had
Yep.
even the little media player for you to
could
play
go.
your music.
Mm-hmm.
And
Listen
you
to
can
music
control
while
it
you were
from
playing.
there.
Yep.
And then they added the update to do it from the guide button.
Yep.
Just
That came.
I
later,
don't know
not
why
the
they
day
changed.
before.
Why did you change this?
Because
Why?
because the next update made sense too. I understand.
It made sense, but it was inferior.
Other announcements.
Not to mention, I hated hitting the guide button and having a gigantic white brick in my face in the middle of the night.
Other announcements that came up were the new Far Cry game.
Far Cry Primal.
Yeah, it looks so damn good. Like it just looks so damn good. I want to control a Sabretooth. I want to throw a Sabretooth at someone. A pack of wolves. Have your pack of wolves following you everywhere. Like
It's gonna be so.
Hello.
I was just excited at the fact that it was the era that it's in.
Mhm.
No
Stone
other
Age.
game is really in that era
Mm-mm.
because there's no other game you can do it with.
it's so
Okay,
beautiful. I'm excited.
Maybe if they want to if they want to reach for it, maybe Assassin's Creed could try for it.
Ugh. I don't think they would.
Maybe they're not going to because that is such a reach. I can see their reasoning and how they could link it in, but I can't see them ever doing it.
No.
Because they would have to backtrack technologically so much.
Right.
Like the first hidden blade is literally a stick and twine.
But then also, a huge surprise, and that left a lot of people who loved the original in shock and awe and super excitement. They're making a Psychonauts 2, which is big. Like, if you've never played the first Psychonauts, it's a cult classic game that wasn't huge, but has this like following like Boondock Saints. Like, that movie isn't huge, but there is a core group of people that have seen that movie that absolutely love that original Boondock Saints movie. Yeah, like you see Boondock Saints, you love it. Just like Firefly. If you know what Firefly is, you love Captain Mal. And you know everything about Captain Mal. And, like, Firefly is one of those cult classics that you just watch. It wasn't very big, but the people who love it, love it. Like, Psychonauts, in the first, like, week, not even a week, it hasn't even been a week since they announced it, they've already raised $1 million on a crowdfunding campaign. $1 million.
Can I just say, I feel some game developers are taking advantage of crowdfunding in a negative way.
In this aspect, no.
This aspect, no, but some, like, fork out your own money for the game. Don't use my money to make a game that I'm going to have to buy.
Right. The thing is that
Psychonauts 2, I can see the people that want to see the game are going to want to pay to push development.
The developer itself is putting this out there to let people know that they can help invest because there isn't much funding for it right now. Because they haven't really worked on anything this like classic in a while. So most of it is to gauge interest and to gauge, how
much money are we going to have to make this game?
Yeah, exactly. So in this sense, I'm so excited. Psychonauts 2 just looks phenomenal, and I'm really excited. But overall,
another beef with Sony. Because we got off track from our beef with Sony.
We did, but still, Psychonauts 2. Woo! Anyway, so, Sony.
Again, with them following in the Xbox footsteps.
Well, kinda. Go for it.
Unlocking the 7th core of their processor for game development.
Right.
Xbox did it already. They dropped some of the Kinect function. I haven't noticed a drop in Kinect functionality from what I used the Kinect for.
It's probably for development purposes, but...
interacting with the game more so. But, I mean, there haven't been a super load of games that do that, like Mass Effect did. Voice commands for the squad or anything like that. But that's the end of my little rant for Sony.
So
end of rant.
Sony unlocks the 7th core for gaming now. And, obviously, Microsoft has did that a while ago. But this marks Sony actually saying, alright, we're okay with everyone actually having full access to our processors now. So see what this baby can do, because we put out all of these impressive games initially, and now we finally are going to let you develop whatever you want on it. And, like, it makes sense, just because you don't want to blow your load all at once. All in your first go, you don't want to blow it all. You really don't. Yes, this is a double entendre. But
from the Virgin.
Right? Anyway.
Puppies, man, how you doing? Glad to see ya. That is the friendlication I made that reminds us of Caboose.
Oh.
No. No, that was Killjoy.
Well, either way.
Puppy's cool by himself, though. He doesn't need to sound like anybody to be cool. That's the thing. Exactly. Killjoy does.
Anyway, but yeah, we've got so much. We're going to be archiving this, right? We're going to have this posted up tomorrow?
Yeah, we'll be exported to YouTube either tonight or tomorrow.
Yeah. So we've had all sorts of news, puppy, that has come through here. Like, a lot of news.
We started at 7:30. I didn't think we'd be talking this long. I really didn't think. So, we've been talking about gaming for an hour. This is what I do at work.
We should probably actually get some gaming on screen.
This is what I do at work all day. Yeah, let's go ahead and get some gaming on screen.
Hello. Went down the rabbit hole on that. All right, sweet. That was beautiful. Frankly, that was probably one of the best ways to... Oh, dear.
OBSception.
There's a little peek into the background there. All
You
right.
should hit that light that we totally forgot to hit
Oh,
in
hello.
the beginning of the stream.
Yeah, I should. You were right. You should have told me about that. There we go. Am I as pasty as I was before? Probably. Oh. Anyway. Let's see. Let's get some Battlefront going here.
You can always switch your... Actually, here we go.
What am I in? Oh, yes, that's right. I should do that.
So they can hear the gameplay and... No.
Oh, this... That makes sense now. There we go. All right.
Make sure you get the volume up too, because that actually does control what they hear as well.
This here?
Just don't blow your ears out.
What? Don't judge me.
Bastard.
That's the best joke in the book. Really, it's not. Oh, sweet Lord. Alright, let's go. Come on. There we are. So tell me, Adam, what is your most anticipated game?
Oh.
I wish you luck.
I don't know, honestly, like... My most anticipated gaming item of the year, I would have to say, is the finishing of expansion...
Eventually this will get here.
I forgot about that.
Oh.
The making of the expansion... Did you hear, like, a ringing sound?
I did, but I'm
And
also...
now it's gone.
There's the game sounds.
I keep forgetting about that. That was charging that. Okay, sorry about that. Sorry about your ears. Anyways, I'm waiting for them to finish the last few chapters of Star Wars: The Old Republic's expansion. And
There, okay. I figured out what you were trying to say.
what?
So try to say it one more time. The new expansion for...
Star Wars: The Old Republic.
There it is.
I'm wanting them
Okay.
to finish the final chapters on that because it is such a great story to the expansion. BioWare makes great Star Wars games. They make great games, period, but even Star Wars games.
And you were ranting about the Xbox.
Sick with mono. That's
Oh, puppy.
good.
No, I don't want to hug you right now. If I could extend a vote of wishing to you to have good health, I'm going to do that now. I'm in a better suit. I was going somewhere with that.
Reminds me of an episode of The Office where Michael Scott's like, sometimes I'll start a sentence, I just don't know where it's going. I lose myself somewhere along the way.
Yes. Was it Hero Hunt? It's one on... Yeah. Heroes vs. Villains is the 3-on-3 heroes, and then you help defend your hero. Okay. You'll have to...
Hero Hunt is the everybody, eight people, one person's the hero.
Yeah.
Juggernaut.
You'll have to forgive me. I've only legitimately played this, like, 3 times. So...
That'll be better for you.
Yes. So I will apologize in advance if I am terrible. But I will attempt. Whoa. There we go. I'm gonna have to get used to this. Frythan here actually has the new Pro controller.
The Elite controller.
The Elite controller. And
it is Pro.
It is Pro. And I'm going to have to get used to these paddles. They may be gone by the end of the video. We'll find out. Because I'm just not sure if I can get used to paddles. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. It's A-X-B-Y?
A-B-X-Y. Speaking of this, now that we're playing Star Wars Battlefront,
Yes. It's all the way up.
they wanted to
That's it. Go after the other ones.
That's it. We got the last one of them.
Wow, great round. Go. sure if you
I
did
helped
that.
so much.
There is a mod for the PC version that makes the graphics even more realistic. It looks like the stream because can't watch you play. Ham.
Han.
No one calls him Great movie. Go watch it.
You think that get-up scares me? Do whatever it takes.
Alright, Darth Vader is dead.
But yeah, the graphics in it are so amazing. You think it is actually a movie.
They're all on top of me, I swear. Someone please help me. Oh.
He's a good blaster. How does surrendering sound?
I really wish they could have gotten Harrison Ford for the voiceover for this. Granted, it would sound significantly older than he actually is, but in the end.
Yeah. Are we having fun yet?
Lord bless mods. Rebel Soldier, you know it. Let's do this.
Protect Captain Solo and Princess Leia. Don't forget about Skywalker. Bucketheads are gonna be gunning for him.
Hey, look at just the landscape.
Oh, sweet Lord, that's a Boba Fett.
And then this peering around the corner.
No, thank you.
Like, damn.
Got one.
Yeah.
Now
EA
push
needs
the
to
assault.
update this.
Yeah. Push that through.
Just make this the norm.
Right? Push that through. I don't know where I'm coming up.
And whoever made that mod needs to get some pretty good money for it.
Target down. Press your attack.
That is
You
just,
got him.
he just
They're all
pushed
down.
game development to where every game is trying to be. From a modder.
Get him on the team, yo. I genuinely am doing literally.
Like, he just,
I am going to die.
he just won. He won the game. He didn't even know he was playing.
Alright, let's watch the Boba Fett up top there. Who are you, Game volume is down. Is that better for you guys? I really hope it
Can you hear
is.
us talking? Can you hear us now? 10 seconds.
Hello? Anyone?
But yeah, that mod is phenomenal.
Yeah.
But imagine Halo with those kind of graphics. Imagine Call of Duty would do a number better. Okay, bye.
Is it better?
And yeah.
Alright.
And
Sorry, everyone. I did not mean to deafen you with my awesome game sound.
oh my gosh, imagine Mass Effect with those graphics. Reapers. Oh my god, Biotics. The scene that is in every single one of them that makes it rated M. I mean,
What? Huh? Yeah, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. I'm not sure. Yeah.
meh. Gotta show him the boss.
After him. After him. Yeah. Well done, Luke. Now, I did nothing.
At least you can, you know, recognize it.
Right? Oh, I have to say, this headset. It's a good headset.
Really?
Yes. But my head hurts. It's not from the headset. My head just hurts. Let's see if we can get better enemies, because that was pathetic. Seriously, Vader did nothing. If I was Vader, I would be all over those pricks. Like, throw that lightsaber. That is the best tool for Vader ever.
Oh my gosh, serious. That and Force Choke.
Right?
Because Force Choke, using it on another hero, will cause them to just shudder back.
Yeah.
And
It locks them
you're
down.
good to go.
I'm also going to move my...
Ugh.
Go back to that. Thank you. Yes. Do that one. Thank you. What? Nothing? No?
No, just do your thing.
Go! You can respawn me in. Alright. Damn it. Stormtrooper I am. Hello, Mr. Vader. Do we have an Emperor?
Ensure the rebels cannot target the Emperor and Darth Vader. Boba Fett is with
I like the Emperor. I have a hard time using his attack just because I can't tell like how effective it is at certain ranges.
Right.
But I like the
I
Emperor.
don't have left bumper. It's not working.
What is left bumper again? Oh, the...
My cards.
Yeah. And it just wasn't working?
Yeah, nothing.
Go into the settings, Xbox accessories. Configure.
Configure.
2.
2. I'm on configuration 2.
Button mapping, your left bumper is still the same.
That's weird.
Try it again, maybe you just weren't hitting it right.
Dexterous vibration? Nope.
Now, you're good to go.
Alright, that was weird.
Then what's the issue?
I don't know. It just wasn't.
Home button it.
I did. There we go. Sorry, team.
Try it again.
Lol.
Nah.
They didn't need me. Like I said, not doing anything anyway. Yes! Bring it on, you pathetic fools. There we go. Crazy.
Don't scare me like that.
Get out the base. Yes. Yes. Feel the hate flow through you. Yes.
Down your right, got Han. Block.
Try that again. Ain't that a plan?
Ah, at least you got a lot of
he's so
damage. He's
weak.
down to 10.
He's so weak, guys. Go get him.
I played the Battlefront beta. I rather enjoyed it. The crap out of it.
Yes. Why am I all the way over here? Good night. No, this does not help. I'm expecting Han to be just in one of these corners. I don't know what it is, but today I've been all about singing. Just
The
right
rebel
there we go.
scouts have
Singing
been
your
broken.
life.
Great effort.
I don't know what it is. So far, it's worked for me all day.
Alright.
Don't judge me.
I'm not. Just keep rolling with it, bro.
Imperial Stormtrooper.
The rebels must not be allowed to target the Emperor or Lord Vader. Boba Fett must be protected as well. Do what must be done.
You're my, You're my grenade. I don't know
What about holding my? Next time you spawn, try reselecting your cards.
Okay.
Do you notice how it was so hard?
Yes, winning as the Rebels on Empire Assault was rather...
Yeah, it won't let me use
difficult.
any of my bumpers.
Try both.
No,
Bring the others to their knees.
no, just guns right now. We are doing this normal.
Okay. Can you jump?
Yeah, jumping's fine. I can jump. Damn it. I was doing so much damage.
I've gotta say, having a knife fall on your hand...
One target
Dude.
neutralized. Do not relent.
Look at
That was my alarm to remind me to eat.
that. Oh, well, you already ate at the start of the podcast.
That was during my other alarm to remind
Well,
me to eat.
You
I
should
have,
probably
I
fix
have
that.
like 5 or 6 alarms set for me to remind myself to eat.
Why do you have to be reminded to eat?
Because I don't know what I had. I don't know what it's been lately. Like, I'll wake up,
We crushed
my coffee will be
rebel
ready for
scum.
me. I'll have a cup of coffee. And I don't eat.
Stop that. Eat, you fool.
Like, even when I wasn't drinking coffee, because I had to remind myself to eat.
Eat, you fool.
I need to go through and change all the songs to match.
Vader's back.
I need to match all the songs so that whenever I hear a specific song in my head, I'm like, eat.
I am going to take the back way. Flank like a pro.
End your reign of terror.
Come back, Leia. Oh, that guy got the short end of the stick. What? You not dead?
What's that one? Yeah. Good pay
Hello.
enemy.
I didn't even know what that
Acoustic of Save Me Tragedy. I love that. Maybe I should do Ailstorm. Drink. At 7:30 in the morning. That's a good song.
Probably not.
They're pirates, so for them, yes.
Yeah, I am genuinely doing literally nothing. Like, I'm barely contributing. So,
Focus all efforts on protecting the Emperor, Lord
let's see.
Vader, and
No,
Boba Fett.
still no bumpers. This is weird. Genuinely no.
Fix your shit, Battlefront.
I think it could be that I just was trying to switch them and I just didn't read them correct. I don't know. We'll find out. Well, once we get done with this round.
Why is there no song called Hey, Eat Your Food?
Because
That's not on Sesame Street.
I always get
One has been lost to us. Counter.
There we go. Get that punk. Probably gonna die.
I'll do the Imperial March, so anytime I watch Star Wars, I get hungry.
There you go. Hi, Han. I got a kill, and he's almost dead. Damn it! I'm not gonna get that kill. Oh, how on earth did the Emperor and that rocket not kill that one dude? So
Yeah, I'll do Save Me Tragedy. All of them.
victory.
The other one I had was
Excuse me.
You're excused.
Thank you. Actually,
You're welcome.
I guess. Whew. Well, I think it's safe to say that we are ready to wind down here. Again, this has been Fiesta Sunday. We appreciate you guys tuning in, and we hope to see you on our next week, where we discuss all the news and gaming events throughout the week, as well as play some wonderful games. I think I might be able to get Just Cause.
Might be having some Rainbow Six Siege for you, so
That
we'll
too.
see what happens.
So, We look forward to seeing you guys and have a good time. Peace out.